So I've got Tiny Turtle in a bucket, and I've managed to remove all of the rocks out of the sump without actually cracking it. I did chip an edge, but it's a tiny, tiny chip. And I thought this was worth sharing, actually, because I call her Tiny Turtle. This is obviously Agatha. But even though she's a musk turtle and they're advertised as being really, really tiny, and when you get them, they're like the size of a 50p coin, she's more like the size of a baked potato. These are not small. And I see people recommending to keep these guys in like 30 gallons, 20 gallons, that kind of thing. She basically does not have enough space unless she's got at least 4 foot. She's been pretty chill right now. So what I've done is I've just popped her in this bucket with enough water to cover her because she freaks out if she's out of water. She does not like being dry docked. The one time I had to do that. And it's just shallow enough that she can stick her nose out so she can breathe and things like that. And then she'll be on the front seat with me to make sure she's not rattling around too much. And she hasn't actually musked on me either. It's a sort of very like earthy smell. It's similar to like snakes musking on you. I've got colubrids and they musk on you if you stress them out too much. It's a similar sort of earthy bodily fluid smell. So, but she's actually been pretty chill and not musked on me. I haven't moved her in ages, so she probably has forgotten what's going on. But she looks pretty healthy. Her shell's looking really good. They get these lovely patterns on them when they're a little bit older. You want to keep an eye out for like white patches and things like that. But yeah, she's all right. She doesn't really like being touched. She's definitely a look, don't touch animal. So we'll leave her alone now. I'll make sure she's super low stress while we move her to her new pond. And yeah, you might remember from the last video, go back and check it out if you like the aquascape that we did for Agatha in this sump. But it's all going to come down because we're moving. So I've got all of these. I genuinely forgot how big they were actually. I tried to pick up like the biggest one with one hand and was like, oh, okay. That could have gone really bad. So I've got them all in this giant poly box, but there is absolutely no way in hell I'm going to lift this and they're all just going to fall at the bottom. So I need to work out some sort of sensible way of getting these into my car because I've got trolleys to the other end. But yeah, these all need to get loaded up and I need to figure out what I'm doing with them. They might be quite nice for Bugs Pond, actually, because they're quite big. I don't really want to put my back out trying to lift these into the pond underneath the racks because it's like reaching with heavy loads. It's a bad idea. It's a good way to get a slip disc. So yeah, these might be good in Bugs Pond, but I don't know if they're a little bit sharp because obviously he bumps into everything. So might have to work out something to do with these. But yeah, I suppose I could always break them up into smaller chunks, but I don't really like doing that because I like that they're big. So we'll see. Maybe I'll use one of them for a basking area in her new pond. But maybe some of them can go towards other creative ventures. We shall see. I've got loads of these now. It's all of these ones in this tank I'm not looking forward to. So the plan now, because Agatha is out of the sump, we're going to move all the fish out of the 7 foot. So the Raphael catfish and the snakehead and there's a Pleco in here as well. So we've got Phoenix in here. So we're going to move them down into the sump. Then I'm going to take out all these gorgeous crits and dwarf sag that I've got growing in here. Just got it all growing nice. It looks really nice in here. I know there's a bit of algae. I know that's not really everyone's cup of tea, but I love all of this algae. I think it's great. However, when I'm trying to lift these out, now these are about as big as my head. So these rocks, trying to lift them out over the top of this tank, which I'm going to be stood on a chair and then I've still got to like fold myself double to get down into the bottom of the tank, is not going to be fun with these all algified and covered in blackbeard algae and they're all slimy and yeah. So the idea is to move all the fish down into the sump and hopefully the eel won't get somewhere where he's not supposed to. Hopefully. I don't think, oh god, he can fit actually. Hopefully he can't fit too much into the bits of the sump between the like baffles. Drain this down until there's as little water in it as possible because I want all of the sand to dry out before I try and get it out because wet sand is so heavy. And this is a 7 foot tank, so there's a lot of sand in here. I can't remember how much I put in. It's got to be at least 70 kilos, 70 to 100 kilos easy. So drain all of it out and then let it dry with the fish not in here So then I can just like wipe off all of the algae, hopefully, and I'll move the plants. All of these plants I think are going into Bug's Pond, I think. I haven't made my mind up yet. And then all of the wood and things is going to go into different tanks as well. And then we will work out what we're doing with this tank at the other end once all of these plants and fish are safe. So the priority is moving this lot first. So the fish will stay in the sump, drain it out, let it dry as much as I can. Take out the rocks, plants, wood, all the rest of it, and give it all a scrub. And then let the sand dry as much as I can, because like this is like 6 inches tall. It's difficult to get the perspective on camera, but from the bottom of the tank, that's not like distance you're seeing, that's height. There's a lot of sand in here to protect the bottom of the tank from these. So that's going to be fun. So I want the sand as dry as possible because I can't lift heavy buckets of sand and I don't have physically enough buckets to contain all of the sand. Then I've got a wet dry vacuum to suck every last bit out and make sure it's super dry, ready to be moved. And then I've got some help moving it. I've got some piano trolley wheels and electronic lifting devices and strong men to help me. Because I can manage a corner, but a tank like this weighs easily half a ton empty. Because it's an old one and the glass is pretty thick. It's been resealed and rebraced several times. There's a lot of extra glass on it. So it is bloody heavy, put it that way. But we will move it into the fish room. And it's going to be above Bug's Pond. And basically I've got some, what are they called? For scaffolding, I've got the planks that you'd walk on for scaffolding. Sorry about dog in the background with his bone. I'm just about to see one of the old Raphaels. There. There's a cactus Pleco in here as well, but you never see him. Scaffolding poles, like planks, like you'd walk on for scaffolding, and like the ones, they're like old ones, thick, strong beams. Anyway, the tank's going to be sitting on those, and then basically breeze blocks, stuck like Jenga blocks each end. Which is tried and true method for me. Don't have to mortar them together, cement them together or anything, just stuck them. And the weight of everything pushing down holds it there. So that's the plan anyway. So for today, let's get Turtle moved and then we can worry about these guys later. So this is what I came up with, and I'm basically going to pop some dirt and like bark and stuff in that tray, but I forgot it because I was so occupied with making sure I had everything else with me. So in this pond at the moment there is a single large Gibberseps Pleco, which doesn't really have a place to go anywhere else in the fish room because it's not friendly with other Plecos. But Agatha is actually going to be more of a danger to it. She is fine with larger fish. She normally just takes chunks out of their tails, and to be honest, I've only ever seen them rasping on her shell when she's been like shedding and stuff. Like she will get out of the way if she's uncomfortable. So generally they seem all right with the bigger Plecos. I wouldn't put her in with like a big cactus or something because it could like gouge her. But generally she has been in with my commons a couple of times and been all right. Pleco is probably the safest fish to have in with her compared to everything else, to be honest. Because she loves just eating fish, really. Anything that's like weak or she can get hold of, she will grab. So anyway, this is a 4 foot by 4 foot by, oh gosh, it's probably about 8 inches deep. And then basically there's one of those big rocks like I've got in the 7 foot under there and another one over there. Spread that branch across them. And then the tray at the back is on top of some upturned flower pots. And then basically just filled in the gaps with this pothos and that resin ornament at the back there. Filtration, we've got a sponge filter inside a flower pot full of alpha grog. And then there's also a pump at the back as well for a little bit of circulation. But just for these two, we should be all right, just with the water flowing over the media and things like that. And yeah, it's kind of murky in here because of the tannins. So what I'm going to be doing is Agatha's in her bucket, just acclimating to the temperature in here because it is definitely warmer in here than it is in the house. And then I'm going to do a little bit of a water change in here, just going around doing water changes everywhere else. As you can see, got little stir-by grats in here. Very, very cute. looking good. They're a good looking bunch in this tank. So yeah, just doing water changes, got that one down. One next door is coming down as well. So yeah, water changes all around. And then I'll see what I'm going to do with these big rocks. I don't think I want to put my back out putting them in there now that I'm looking at it. I might put one big one like sloping. But aside from that, I have a feeling they're going to be more useful in the 7 foot and in bugs setup. Just to make it look a little bit prettier, I guess. But for now, let me go around and finish my water changes off because I've got loads to do today. Forget if I can make out like it's more glamorous than this, but I genuinely am just holding hoses in tanks until they drain out and then filling them back up again. So it's quite boring, and you've got to have strong arms for holding your arms up all the time, and you've got to keep an eye on things, otherwise tanks drain out too much or you have a flood. But yeah, I've got about 5 tanks to go. I'm just filling this tank up, and I don't know whether you can see that or not, but that is a little baby panda cory. So turns out my pandas in here have been breeding after all. I thought they'd stopped, but that's good to still got my pandas going. I don't really talk about this tank very much because it's down here and it doesn't have a light on it. But there's a group of panda cories in here. Alrighty then, Aggie. In you go. If I put you there, then you know where to get out. There we go. So normally she will stay still and just work out what's happening, and then she will vanish off at top speed under the water, which I'm expecting in 5, 4, 3. There we go. Off she goes. So hopefully it's not too chilly in here for her. I did have to move the pothos because I've got her mercury vapor bulb on here for her UVA, UVB and her heat. And then the last thing I need to do is, because they're quite good climbers, now I don't know whether you can see, I've got a lid on up at the back there, so she can't go up that branch and get out. But this here, she might be able to climb, so I am going to just find something to go here as a bit of a barrier to make sure she can't escape. But she's got loads of space in there. So hopefully I'll be able to get some cool footage of her chilling on this island. And yeah, I need to remember to bring up that bark and rep soil and things for her dig box. But it's past her egg laying season. She's already laid her eggs this year. So hopefully she won't be too desperate for somewhere to come out and dig. And she will be able to work out what's going on. There she is. Kicked up loads of muck when I did the water change now. So it doesn't really look any better. But she'll probably go underneath there and go and chill. So yeah, it's a little bit nerve-wracking not having her in the house, but it is nice and warm in here. And as long as she can't get out, this is a bigger habitat than most turtles live for, could wish for, really. Yeah, not very many musk turtles have over 100-gallon ponds, so Turtle Island, very good. This pond has been many things this year. I might eventually get her back in the house, but I don't know. It's quite nice having everything up here because then the food only has to be in one place and all that kind of thing. So we'll have to see. There you go, Greg. There we go. So that is 24 odd water changes done for today. Tanks are looking good. Really pleased my pandas have bred, actually. And then yeah, we just barricaded that off so Agatha can't get out, and then that can flip up so I can see her. But she's just disappeared. She's looking around. Hopefully she will be happy in that. And then yeah, all our water changes and things are all finished. So next up, we're going to be sorting that 7 foot out. So that'll be the next video. I'm moving that in here. And then we've got an aquascape to do for Bugs Pond and an aquascape to do for the 7 foot as well. So we've got lots to get on with. And yeah, I'm not looking forward to moving the 7 foot. So I will show you how I'm going to do all of that. Get that all drained, get the aquascape sort of deconstructed, all the rest of it. because the tank's been running for a while now, a couple of years, so it's going to be a bit of a mission, put it that way. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.